Howdy, Full Metal Cowboy, straight shooting a review of Animals. Pink Floyd's 10th studio album was released in 1977, 2 years after their 9th studio album, Wish You Were Here. After the release of Pink Floyd's most poignant album, Wish You Were Here, Roger Waters decided to take Pink Floyd in a certain direction for their next album. In fact, he wanted complete control over the songwriting throughout their 10th studio album, which would later become Animals. And the reason for Roger Waters wanting to go in this direction was because he wanted to do a little tribute to George Orwell's novel Animal Farm. Hence the title Animals. And just like Wish You Were Here, Animals only has 5 tracks in its entire track listing. It also has the same structure as its predecessor, but the pacing of the structure is the complete opposite from Wish You Were Here. How so? Wish You Were Here has Shine On You Crazy Diamond being both the opening and closing track. The only difference between the two is that the opening track is parts 1 through 5 of Shine On You Crazy Diamond, whereas the closing track is parts 6 through 9 of Shine On You Crazy Diamond. As for Animals, Pigs on the Wing is the opening track as well as the closing track. Part 1 is the opening track, part 2 is the closing track. Throughout Animals, both parts of Pigs on the Wing are the shortest tracks of Animals.
And watching for pigs on the wing.
And seeing as how Pigs on the Wing Part 1 serves as an intro to Animals, I like how simplistic it is to start off before things start to become a lot more interesting with this record. Now, I am looking at Animals with an interpretation that the track titles are referring to groups of people. Animals is by far one of Pink Floyd's more political albums, and it doesn't surprise me given some of the lyrical context of this album.
You got to be crazy.
Animals really kicks in with the track Dogs. And for this being 17 minutes long, it is one of Pink Floyd's worthy opuses. It's worthy alongside another opus of theirs, Echoes. And the best way I can describe the track Dogs, and I only can state this in simpler terms because I have tried to figure out what else Dogs is trying to go for, but to put it simply, I interpreted the track as being about struggling in life. One thing is for certain, Pink Floyd sure loves their pork when it came to the production of Animals, because not only does the opening and closing track have the word pigs in it, so does the middle track.
Pink man, pink man, I shall ride you out.
I can tell right away that Pigs 3 Different Ones is about power, wealth. Other than that, Pigs 3 Different Ones is not only my favorite track in Animals, it is also the highlight of this record, period. David Gilmour's guitar playing is great. I can't get enough of Pigs 3 Different Ones. But of course, everything around this track is just as great. Although I would say out of all the great Pink Floyd albums out there, this does take more than one listening experience to fully appreciate it because of how long the middle tracks are in comparison to the opening and closing track of Animals. Sheep clearly is about people who follow anything blindly, without thought and without question. And Sheep is a great penultimate track in Animals.
A shelter from pigs on the wing.
Animals concludes with Pigs on the Wing Part 2, which is a much more reflective track than Pigs on the Wing Part 1. And that's because of everything that came before Pigs on the Wing Part 2. And it definitely puts everything in full circle. This is another great Pink Floyd album. While there was tension throughout the production of this record, we can all be grateful that Animals is another masterpiece by Pink Floyd. This is amongst one of the greats alongside The Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here. And I'm going to be shooting a 10 out of 10 for Animals. And I'm very much looking forward to talking about Pink Floyd's 11th studio album, a double album for that matter. So next time in my series of Pink Floyd reviews, I'm going to be looking at The Wall. And as I review this album, I will also include a review of the film of Pink Floyd, The Wall as well. I'll be reloading for my next review, so until then, I'll see you later.